The hunter, blinking away tears and fighting to see, turned Elevast's head toward the only place that would offer them any shelter from the storm. 4 obsidian stones stood in the heart of the island of land that rose from the endless sea of white, salt-covered ground of the whispering waste. 10 paces tall and 3 wide, the midnight monoliths leaned inward, providing a pitiful windbreak. Elevast shied from the stones, but the hunter pushed him onward. The stench of rot and decay twisted the hunter's stomach. These were Dolmenrath, the creations of the Sereni, whispered to have been used to summon demons during the War of Gods thousands of years earlier. The stones emanated an almost tangible pall of malevolence. But he had no choice. These stones offered the only shelter from the lightning, the buffeting winds, and the stinging spray of salt. He leaped from the saddle, whirled to scoop Hailen up, and dashed the last 5 paces to the circle of standing stones. Stepping into the circle felt like stepping into mire. No earthly mud, but a thick, suffocating miasma of evil. The hunter fought the dread writhing within him and ducked into the shadow of an obelisk. The massive stone blocked the worst of the wind, and the hunter drew his long, dark cloak across his face to protect himself and Hailen. The monoliths hummed around him as lightning struck at them with sizzling fingers. An eerie wailing pierced the ring of obsidian stones, stabbing into his ears and setting his head ringing. Hailen's presence pushed back the voices in his mind, but he could not escape the wailing of the wind. It seemed voices whirled all around him, screeching, shrieking, begging, pleading. He could make out no words, but could not escape the chaos. The hunter gritted his teeth against the pain. Closing his eyes, he forced himself to take slow, deep breaths. "Hardwell!" Hailen's whimper, so close to his ear, piercing the raging maelstrom. "We're alive, Hailen." The hunter gripped the boy tighter, as much for his own comfort as for Hailen's. "We're alive," he repeated. I'm scared." Hailen snuffled in his arms. "I don't like the wind. The voices, they're telling me—" "Don't listen to them. Just listen to me. The voices aren't real. They're just a trick of the wind." He spoke the words to comfort Hailen, but he knew the truth. He had heard voices for years. The voice of soul hunger, the dagger he'd inherited from his demonic father, the voice of the demon living in his mind, the voices of the dead in Veramis. The more he tried to ignore them, the louder and more insistent they grew. Hailen had inherited his own curse, the Ursinon, the madness that gripped all Elevasti. The purple-eyed descendants of the Sereni were fated to insanity unless they took the opia, a fruit that grew in 2 places on Einan. They had left Shanalal behind in the wake of the chaos stirred up by the enmity between the War Master and Sage. Now they had to reach Inarium, the lost city of the Sereni, to find the cure for the boy, before the madness completely overtook him.